The Abortionist's Daughter by Elisabeth Hyde. Read for you by Beth McDonald.
Part 1. December. Chapter 1. The problem was, Megan had just taken the second half of the ecstasy when her father called with the news. Earlier that day, her roommate had bundled up and trudged out into a raging front-range blizzard to buy 2 green clover-shaped pills, one for herself and one for Megan as a kind of pre-Christmas present. Natalie had meant to wrap them up in a little box, but the day got a little hectic, what with exams and all, so after dinner, when they were back in their dorm room together, Natalie simply dug in her pocket and took out the little pills and without any fanfare set them on the open page of Megan's biology text. "And don't wuss," she warned. Megan screwed up her face. The green pills reminded her of those pastel dots you got when you were a kid, the kind you peel off a long strip of paper. She didn't have time for this tonight. She scooped up the pills and put them into a clay pinch pot that sat in the back corner of her desk. Lumpy and chipped, the pot looked as though someone had stuck his elbow into a ball of clay, which is exactly what Ben, her brother, had done 11 years ago. A major accomplishment for Ben. But Natalie wouldn't let the matter go, pointing out that they could start with just half. And so, instead of studying for her biology exam as planned, Megan Thompson, pre-med freshman at the university, found herself giving in to something larger and decidedly more fun that evening. Not only that, but she gave in with no clue as to what had transpired earlier that evening 2 miles west, in the 2-story stucco house she'd grown up in, the house that had been on the home tour 3 years in a row, the one that backed up to open space with the model solar heating panels and the evaporative cooling system that kept the temperature inside a mere 75 when outside it soared above 100. She had no suspicions, no worries, no funny feelings that might have caused her to think twice, to resist the temptation and opt out of what she knew from experience would be another evening of all-night bliss. Forgetting about everything else, her exam, the argument with her mother earlier that morning, that last very strange email from Bill, Megan placed half the pill on her tongue, washed it down with water, and waited. That was at 8 o'clock. At 8:30, they weren't feeling much different. At 8:45, Natalie wondered if they should take the other half, and it was right after they split the second pill that the phone rang. Natalie recognized the number on caller ID. "It's your mother again," she announced. When Megan didn't reply, Natalie said, "I think you ought to straighten things out. Maybe she changed her mind. Maybe she'll buy you the plane ticket. I'm answering it." She picked up the phone, singing, "Yellow," before even bringing the phone to her ear. Seated cross-legged on her bed, Megan slumped against the wall. The reason she didn't want to talk to her mother was simple. That morning, they'd argued over whether or not Diana would buy Megan a ticket to Mexico for spring break. Mean things were said by both of them, and Megan shuddered when she recalled how pleased she'd felt with that last wicked remark about killing babies. Why did it make her feel so good to make her mother feel so bad? Speaking of feelings, the drug was kicking in and she was beginning to feel pretty good. So that when Natalie told her it wasn't her mother but rather her father on the phone, she felt a welcome surge of love and affection. "That's my dad," she said fondly, wanting to play the guy in the middle. "He's always doing that, you know. Whenever Mom and I get into a fight, there he is, Mr. Mediator. It wasn't even a big fight," she went on. "He just wants everything perfect since it isn't with him and Mom. Freaks him out to think that she and I—" "Take the fucking phone," said Natalie. Megan took the phone and cradled it to her ear. "Hi, Dad." "Sweetheart," he began. "It wasn't a major fight," she told him. "Did she tell you? A bunch of people are going to Mexico. I'll pay for the ticket. I'll pay for everything. I didn't mean to lay it all on Mom." She heard her father clear his throat, but felt a rush of apology coming. Not just for things said earlier that day, but for all the wrongs she had.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?